سوري، ليه برأيك زاد هيدا التصرف هلا؟ يعني did we always ghost بس ما كان له اسم وهلا it's becoming it's named and labeled, or there's يعني في اشياء عم بتسهلنا انه نحن to avoid this kind of confrontation مثل ما كنت عم تقولي.
Yeah, that's a great question, Sandra. I think ghosting always existed. بركي هلا صار عنا ليبل لإلها وعم نشوفها بكثرة أكثر من وراء الديتينج apps. So في positive وفي negative للdating apps. إنه being able to hide behind the screen, not being seen, that can be a way for people to get by with these things أكثر إذا بديك. So I believe this is why يعني عم نشوف أكتر هيدا البيهيفير. You know, كنا عم نحكي عن dating, how this ghosting behavior is popular. صار في غير terms إذا بدك to explain people's sudden disappearance. ما بعرف ليه كلهم they're related to Halloween. they're all related to scary stuff. بس غير ghosting في شيء اسمه caspering. So caspering مثل Casper the friendly ghost.
تفسري لنا كاسبرينج، عندك كومنتس اذا
يلا قبل ما نحكي.
So عندك we have somebody saying I learned with experience that ghosting eventually is for our own good, better now than later. Is it true? And how do we deal with it if it happens?
Yeah, okay, great. Let's talk about that now since the question was raised. So مثل ما كنت عم بقول إنه الghosting بيقلنا أكتر عن الشخص who did the ghosting than it says about us. So if a person is ghosting, it tells us إنه هن they lack responsibility to own up to their decisions, right? They're not effective communicators. بدل ما يقولوا لنا straight up, this is how I feel, you know, very casually, it doesn't have to be a drama. They've decided to, you know, avoid that. So we're learning more about them. They have disregard for other people's feelings or a lack of empathy. وهول red flags. So let's really think about that, Sandra. Does anyone want to be with someone that has these qualities? Probably not, right? So I love how this person reframed that situation to say, أحسن لي اتأذى هلا أو انجرح هلا من ما على المدى الطويل هيدا الشخص one day decides to just pack up and leave, you know, after I've built an even stronger and closer attachment to that person. So that's actually one way that I was going to talk about later on for us to deal with ghosting is reframing. Essentially, what this person is doing is reframing to see how this situation is لمصلحتهم, and best that it happened now and not later. But yes, it does hurt. You know, that's the truth. Ghosting sucks. Unfortunately, it happens and it hurts. So caspering, okay, is a level easier إذا بدي. So الفرق بين ghosting و caspering. Caspering استعملوا هيدي الكلمة من ورا Casper the friendly ghost. And caspering is when the person بيعطيك السبب and then disappears. You know, doesn't give you the whole picture, but says something هيك very briefly and then blocks and deletes, kind of a thing. So that's another thing that happens. And then last but not least كمان في شيء اسمه zombieing. Zombieing مثل كمان the name suggests إنه the person is revived from the death. فجأة شخص who had ghosted you decides, oh, let me just message this person 2 or 3 months later, expecting there to be, you know, a reply of some sort or a connection, which أكيد is very frustrating. You know, I'm smiling and or giggling about these things, Sandra, but I'm not trying to make light of them. I'm giggling because of the terminology. And it's funny, عم نستخدم هالكلمات. But, you know, a lot of people have been there. I've personally been there. I've been ghosted. I've been caspered. I've been zombied. And it's frustrating, you know, it's frustrating when these things happen to us. وما عنا reasons, and we're left to our own imagination to come up with the narrative. ومثل ما قلت لك هون للأسف عادة خيالنا بياخدنا to, oh, maybe it's me, but it's never really us. It's more about the person. It's more about the person.